Shalom. Continuing on. Call hello Yahweh Bashem Abishai, Bashem Bakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity. To the Akwaf that are listening and learning. All right. To the scattered Israelite foreigners. This is your brother Malcolm continuing with this lesson. They cut the camera again. All right. And I'm still on page 42 in the second paragraph. It says, most of the posts where these black soldiers initially served not only were overcrowded, but lacked even the simplest amenities such as mattresses, blankets, roofs leaked, there was no firewood, and the kitchen facilities were primitive. The 25th Infantry lived in tents during the freezing winters and broiling summers for 2 years. Their rations were dreadful, and despite their officers' best effort typically remained so throughout the years that their units served in the West. Outside these rudiment post forts, they were called the black soldiers, faced racist hatred. See, the opposite of what Mark Levin was saying, what Senator Cotton is saying. This isn't theory, this is fact, this is history that you tried to sweep under the rug, and it's right here in books that were made and printed right here in America. See, we live in the information age, and they don't want this stuff to come out. All right? It says, even settlers who have been saved from Indian raiders by black soldiers often express literal appreciation and openly call them niggers to be replaced by white soldiers, no matter how impoverished and uneducated the white settlers might be. They reserve the right to discriminate against black soldiers. In several occasions, black soldiers were shot and killed by white men who were never brought to justice. You see, you hear that? Mark Levin, Senator Cotton. Okay? This is coming right out of this book, A Hidden Heroism. All right? Let me read that Deuteronomy again. Let me run it back, man. 33 and 29. Because these Edomites are some lying pieces of shit, man. It said they come out of the womb lying. I believe that Psalms 58 or 53, one of those. Yeah, let me write that down and let me get that again. Deuteronomy 33, 29. And it reads, happy art thou, Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by Yahweh, the shield of thy help, who is the sword of thy excellency, and thy enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. All right, we're treading upon their pride. The scripture says that there should be shameful spewing upon their glory, and that's what they're ashamed of and afraid of. All right, that's why the news media is a propaganda machine to make the Israelite male and other people of color look bad. Because there are just as many, if not more, and worse crimes that are committed by so-called white men daily that often don't make it to the news. Because they can't wait to put up a crime scene and then plaster brown faces all over the screen behind it. Avoiding, because you got to remember the media is owned by the same six companies. I mean the same six media companies are owned by the same guy. I think it's that Rupert Murdoch guy. And they have people who filter. That's why all these different news media outlets, if you people have put together many compilation videos proving it, how they're all supposed to be independent, but yet they all report and say the same thing on the same subject matter. It's a script. They're all given a script. There's no such thing. The journalist has been dead, man. There's no independent reporting. Guys like that have been gone, man. The days of Peter Parkin and what was his name, Jay Jameson, and there's no investigative reporting when you go out and get the story and find the details and report it. That's been gone. News is dictated. And so they dictate information and tell you it's news. All right? Page 43. There could soon be no question about the loyalty and discipline of military accomplishments of these black soldiers. Some who enlisted were running away from criminal past, and not a few had histories of drinking heavily. But after a few years, the Buffalo Soldiers had lower rates of desertion and drunkenness than any white regiments, and they rapidly won many battle honors. The Ninth Cavalry shocked the Army by reporting not a single desertion for 12-month period, undreamed of record in these hard times, and the New York Times actually took note of. As early as 1870, the sergeant from the Ninth Cavalry won a Congressional Medal of Honor and an award, and was later given to almost score of a black soldiers during these years of service in the West. They fought hundreds of battles against the Cheyenne in the North, against the Apache in the South, and with Mexicans and rustlers in between. So they was, and so some of that old hatred is still why you got, you know, this envy between the tribes. But who was orchestrating and pulling the strings on all that? Matter of fact, let me grab a scripture on that. All right, that's part of the curses when you go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. So since we're already in Deuteronomy, it's 28 and 54, and it reads, "So that the man that is tender among you is very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother and toward his wife of his bosom and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave." There you go. The Jacobs often leaving their children, but then that was part of the curses that was placed upon them. All right. Esau put them put us in these horrible positions. All right, with these and used our women as weapons against us. And then, well, there it is, man. They raised women up, and now women don't want to be in their place as women, and a lot of broken homes. All right, and the truth be said, man, a lot of Jake leave their woman. They don't leave their kids. They still be trying to be in their kids' life, man. The women, goes and sick Esau on them and change the whole game, man. All right, after the eventual defeat and forcible relocation of the Seminoles, all right, that's my people, hundreds of their black allies went with them to the Indian Territory, because what they're not talking about, they didn't mention John Horse or any of that, man, and the Negroes who actually were interbred and intermingled, all right, with the Seminoles, who were also a dark melanated copper-colored people, like all the Gadites. You got to remember, in the 1600s in Virginia, the Negro and the so-called native and so-called Negroes were enslaved together, all right, and were considered the same race of people. They called one nigger and the other one forest niggers or tree niggers. Okay, let me grab another quick scripture, man, and close this out, because this shape, actually a couple. Let's go to Amos 9 and 11, man, because you're getting put on blast. This is Amos 9 and 11, and this is why so many chariots are showing up. They're taking account in everything that you're doing and reporting it back to the Father, man. All right, and then the Lord is going to is raising up the tabernacle of David right before your face. This is Amos 9 and 11. "And in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build them as in the days of old," man. So you gotta, why? Verse 12, "that they may possess the remnant of Edom and all the heathen which are called by my name, saith Yahweh, that doeth this." So the Lord is raising up the men of the Lord, raising up the Gadites, the Reubenites, the Judites, all the tribes, man, to come against you devils, and put you under the judgment, of the Lord, man. You got to pay for everything that you've done. All right, one more scripture. This is let's see. This history is shameful, embarrassing, and we love it. This is Habakkuk 2 and 16. "Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. And the cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be upon thy glory. And that's what's going on, man. Shameful spewing is being applied to you Edomites, man. You're being revealed for what your true nature, who you really are, and what you've really done. All right? You'll take all this murderous behavior, you'll call it you rape, robbed, and murder, stole and took land, used usury, set up false balances for justice, and then say you discovered something. Pieces of shit. Call Halal Yahweh Shanab Shai by Shemra Kakwadash. Wa Abba Baba. Look at me. He's this red dog on the left. This damn Amalekite even look like he's ashamed. Liar. Shalom.